Hi, I'm Michelle MJ Boyle. Welcome to my tiny house village. This is my tiny wine wagon, but it's not so tiny. It's actually 165 square feet, the biggest tiny house we have here in the village. I bought it in 2019 and I remodeled it in 2020. For 37 years, it was actually used as a pancake shack. I found it on Craigslist in Cottage Grove, Oregon for $1,000. The before and after pictures are stunning and I can't wait for you to see inside. Because my tiny wine wagon was a remodel, I was actually really limited on what I could do. With that being said, however, I did choose the 3 most popular features of the other houses in the village. First and foremost, it's a main floor design, which basically means anyone can stay. No lofts, no ladders, good to go. My tiny birdhouse, the smallest accommodations that I have, everybody loves that one because it has an outdoor shower. So guess what? My tiny wine wagon also has an outdoor shower. And then last but not least, my tiny hideout is really popular because it has both a twin bed and a queen bed, which means that anybody traveling together can actually share the space without actually sleeping together. So my tiny wagon, definitely the best accommodation in the village. My tiny wine wagon is 8 by 22, 165 square feet of what my friends call the most stylish space I've done to date. Come on in. All of our guests love the wine wagon. And I love the wine wagon. But because it was a remodel, again, there was a lot of restrictions. There was a lot of stuff that we kind of had to go with the flow. So one of the things that I love to do in all of my tiny houses is actually clear glass or basically full glass bathroom doors. It's very weird, but it actually provides a lot of light into the really small spaces. This actually used to be the back porch. On the back porch of the pancake shack is where they actually strapped a 300-gallon propane tank. We turned it into a bathroom. It's actually so small that I had to have a custom toilet made for it. It's that small. So we couldn't put in a sink, but again, everyone's favorite feature is the outdoor shower, which is actually pretty big. It's 3 foot by 3 foot. I know, huge. So one day I was just sitting around minding my own business and I got a phone call from my favorite graphics guy in the whole wide world. He decided he didn't want to go to work that day. He just wanted to call in sick and come drink with me. So he and I sat in here all day long. We just painted all of the accents and drank and had such a great time. And so that is one of the stories that makes the wine wagon really special to me. Tiny house kitchens. A lot of people use cabinets, but I'm not a huge fan of cabinets actually. First of all, they add a lot of weight, and second of all, they add a lot of space actually. Every single time you open a cabinet door, you have to figure out where in the tiny house you gotta go. So, one of the things that I did in my tiny wine wagon, curtains. And they're not just like your normal curtains, but they're really fun. They're really fun and really efficient. And the kitchen carts. I use kitchen carts in almost every one of my tiny houses, and this tiny house is no exception. I was also telling you earlier, look at this fabric. I custom designed the fabric myself for the curtains. Ta-da! So fun. Hit me baby, one more wine. Wine is the best lip stain. Feet up and wine down. For the love of wine, open the bottle! Seating is always a huge challenge in tiny houses, especially workplace seating and dining seating, because where's it supposed to go? This is the only stool in existence, I swear, that's actually got wood legs. So I bought these at IKEA. I chopped the legs off so that they're just tiny enough to actually fit into there. To raise seat, turn counterclockwise. So our guests figure out what's best for them. they use these for dining and working, and then at the end of the stay, you screw them back down and put them back under there. A really cool and unique feature in the tiny wine wagon is, of course, the wine glass chandelier. I found it at a lighting store, and luckily it was on clearance because otherwise I wouldn't have been able to afford it. It sat in storage for almost 2 years while I put together the whole design theme, but first and foremost, that was going to go in here. And yes, our guests really use the glasses, and we have lots of extras in case of accidents, but we absolutely love it. Well, I love it. I don't know about the house cleaners. It takes a bit of dusting. All of my tiny houses have mascots, for lack of a better term. This is Dina. Dina actually has a whole wardrobe. You're going to have to look around though to find it. Some of the guests love to actually change her clothes. And also, I have a house cleaner that loves to change her clothes every single time she's here. But regardless of who you are, or regardless of how long you stay, we have the same sentiment for you.
I love you. I love you.
Designing a tiny house means that you take advantage of every single nook and every single cranny. So, underneath here, you'll find hangers for extra, dress clothes. You also find a small library with books and chapters that I actually wrote, but by far the most popular feature, the M&M game. There's actual rules and no cheating. So when you're designing a main floor design to have 2 beds, I wanted to figure out how to include both a twin bed and a queen bed. If a couple is staying here, they often actually just use this for their luggage storage. They'll put the suitcase up here, flip it open. It's really convenient. Oftentimes we have parents with children, and I've seen actually 2 kids. One sleeps on either end, and then they get to play footsies all night. These counters are one of my favorite features in most of my tiny houses. My guy at Oregon Lumber Works, he takes big, huge barn beams. So these actually used to be a 24-inch by 24-inch by 40-foot long barn beam. And he runs them through the mill, and then he rips them to this thickness. And they're really, really great to care for. I normally oil them, and then if they get any stains, all I have to do is just run a sander. Welcome to my tiny birdhouse. It's the smallest Airbnb in the state of Oregon, and I couldn't be more proud. It's also the first time I actually took advantage of an opportunity I found on Craigslist. This is actually a Playhouse remodel. So I bought a trailer, got a forklift, stuck it on, brought it out here, and then added all the fun stuff. So come on in and take a look. My tiny birdhouse is only 48 square feet. Yes, 48 square feet. I actually had some guests that came to visit one time. They assumed I forgot the 0. Can you imagine their shock when they opened the door and discovered it wasn't 480 square feet, but 48 square feet. They were brave though. They stayed, but it was a lot of fun. So inside my tiny birdhouse, there's actually way more stuff than you can possibly imagine. We have a little refrigerator. We actually have a first ever drawer toilet. So there's very little space, so in order to fit a toilet in, I had to make it a drawer toilet, which actually pulls out from underneath of the bed. It has a small kitchenette. Of course, it's got a kitchen cart because I include those in all of my Airbnb rentals. And then it also has a ladder up to the 2nd story. In my tiny birdhouse, like most of them, we include coffee, tea, linens, all the bedding, and in this one we also include robes. Why do we include robes? This is the most popular feature of the birdhouse, especially in the summertime, as you can imagine. This is the outdoor shower. It's actually way easier to set up an outdoor shower than you can possibly imagine. All you need is a garden hose and a propane tank. And this heater is fantastic. Less than $100 at Home Depot, and it's more than paid for itself several times over. That's it. Hot water. One of my friends came and stayed in my tiny birdhouse one time, and her favorite feature, however, was the drawer toilet. She was so excited that she didn't even have to hardly get out of bed. You just kind of roll out of bed, use the bathroom, and go back to bed in the middle of the night. So if you're someone that has to use the bathroom a lot in the middle of the night, this is a great feature. The birdhouse, however, does sleep 2 people. That might be kind of awkward. So if there is actually 2 people sleeping here, we do also have an outhouse in the village, just right over there. And so that's what they use when there's more than one person. Then they can actually have 2 different options for number 2. Last but not least is our barbecue kitchen area. My tiny birdhouse is way too small to fit a kitchen, so we added this grill and cooler. Thanks for stopping by My Tiny Wine Wagon. If you want to book a stay, you can check us out on either mytinyhousevillage.com or mytinywinewagon.com, of course. Cheers!
Thank you for watching our video and for stopping by Tiny House Expedition. I'm Alexis.
And I'm Christian. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
And for more tiny home tours and stories, click the videos below.
And join us on Patreon for bonus content,
including face-to-face conversations with us. We hope to see you there.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good one.